Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast, hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I'm Kevin.
I'm Thomas. Did you miss us?
We back, baby.
We're back.
A dinosaur story.
Yeah. I think I saw the movie Poltergeist last night for the first time.
Okay.
1982 Poltergeist, and when the ghosts arrive, the little girl quite creepily says, "They're here." And I think that should be the slogan for this episode. You thought the boys were dead. 2 weeks off. Kevin rotting in Europe, but we're here.
Right, rotting.
They're here.
RODDING, as in I was laying pipe across the sea.
Yeah. I never sleep on the pussy. Rod, what's that? Realtor in Winnipeg. Rod something.
You think he says, I never sleep on the pussy?
What's his name? Rod?
Rod Peeler is his name.
Rod Peeler, I never sleep on
which
the
is a
pussy.
horrible name. Yeah. But yeah.
Glad I went directly. There we are. Thank you. I'm glad that I went straight for pussy in the first minute. Within
90 seconds, you'd said I never sleep on the pussy.
Yeah. Well, you said You said something sexual about your Euro adventure. To be fair, I was only
I said I was rotting across.
I guess I could have taken it as like you were building infrastructure, but I assumed that it was a sensual reference.
Right. Well, I said I was laying pipe, so I could have been plumbing, I suppose. Yeah. Yahoo! Fulfilling my Mario-based destiny. I do have a mustache
Luigi,
now,
by the way.
So,
You'd be fucking Luigi.
Mangione?
You'd be Luigi. You're a coward at
Mangione
the end of the day.
or the guy who's afraid of ghosts?
Oh, yeah, a coward like Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, you're staunchly.
I don't know if he did it or not, but I know he's a fucking coward.
Even if he didn't do it, he's a fucking coward.
Well, if he didn't do it, then he's a coward. But if he did do it, then he's a coward as well. Violence isn't the answer unless you're too scared to use violence.
Right. In which case it is the answer.
And we don't condone political violence on this podcast. Obviously, we have to say that it's so dangerous to even reference it as a joke these days.
I was sort of sad that we had banked episodes because there was no opportunity for us to sort of put our foot in our mouth, get canceled, sort of, get in trouble because we were releasing episodes.
Incredibly inflammatory political moments, which we will catch up on today. We'll sort of go through each of them, share our take.
The segment we're doing today is headlines from the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, the world is really fucked up. And awful. I don't know, man. It's scary. It's a scary time to be alive. How is it for Kevy to be across the pond in jolly
I was going to say,
England?
I have to say, being in Europe was a welcome reprieve a little bit. And I know we are a global community and that the ails of what goes on everywhere are all interconnected. Yeah. But sometimes I forget how similar to America Canada is in like an individualistic way or in a sense that I'm sure some Canadians who hear this might be like, what do you mean? No. But the truth is that I think that Western society and like specifically like British imperialist society, because my trip was originally, for the listeners who don't know, I went to England, to York, England. That's where I flew into London. I went to York, England. I have family that's in York. And then from York, I went to Hamburg, Germany. I was in Germany for about a week. I went to Berlin, but mostly spent most of my time in Hamburg. After that, I went to Dublin, Ireland for about a week. I saw Galway, Cliffs and more. I went to Howth, but most of my time was spent in Dublin. And then I went to London for a few days at the end of the trip before I came back home with Kara. And the whole trip, the one thing, I mean, population density matters a lot, which actually I think is something you can experience in America. You probably have experienced this in Chicago and when you were in LA and stuff. And I mean, New York is like this insanely. Like London and New York are pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Chicago it's populous, but it's spaced out more from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's not as crowded.
Yeah. I think like the thing I loved about York was that I think what happens is when you have a society where the streets are more walkable, people are more compressed to each other. Most of their needs are met within you don't have to get into a vehicle and drive somewhere 20 minutes to get stuff. You take care of each other better. People are like helping the old people on and off the bus, and everybody is like genuinely just nicer. And because they're less individualistic. I saw so few people just like glued to their phones. In London, it was insane. It was just like everywhere else. But like in Dublin, that wasn't as much of the case. In Germany, that was really not that common, except for like on transit. Like you see people like. They're more like aware of what's going on in their surroundings and more like communal. And that is like, it was really refreshing to be in an environment like that, and an environment that's more like socially progressive than some of the environments here. You know, there was lots of like pro-Palestine stuff. I've mentioned this in our group chat, but like lots of people
in Germany or in general. I guess in Ireland, I would imagine, but.
Yeah, like it wasn't super prominent in New York. It was a few, like in York, it was a little there because York is like a working class town. There is some tourism and stuff. It's amazing how much of that city has been like taken over. The tourist has been taken over by Harry Potter shit, which is not so progressive, I guess.
Good.
But that's because the shambles of York, which is like this
Awesome.
this famous like street, is like what inspired Diagon Alley, which is like the weird crooked streets. So there's like 4 shops in the shambles, which is like literally one small street, 4 shops that are like Harry Potter themed stuff, and it's like not quite the place I remember as a kid, but still. There was one shop in that area called "This Shop Is So Gay," and
that's sick.
Hell yeah! It was. It was actually really cool.
Was it
they
a
had
queer
like cool...
affirming shop, or was it used pejoratively?
Yeah, it was used as sort of a slur.
They mean dumb. They don't mean queer.
Yeah, and everything in it was for idiots. No, it was. But they did have this like graffiti on the window that was like not graffiti. It was like window paint that they put on, but it was like literally like somebody's like life story, the shop owner's life story about how they and their siblings had decided to open up this store because but it was all about how their like mother died from a terminal illness, and that like, and it was long, and it was kind of a trauma dump like right on the main window of the store. And I just was like, this is a weird vibe when you're just selling like pins and magnets that say like big titties are nice or whatever on it, you know. Like.
That doesn't sound that gay to me, but
and fat cocks and stuff too.
You can have a gay store or a sad store, but you can't have both. That's my
you can't
stance.
have. Going into a shop, it's called "This Shop Is So Gay," and everything is super depressing and the super
this
dour.
Shop is so heartbreaking.
Yeah. What's the opposite of pride? Shame. Yeah.
I know that we try not to get too, but like J.K. fucking Rowling, what a piece of dog shit. Hate that person. Yeah. And recently she's like come out complaining about Palestinian protests, like as if the trans stuff wasn't enough. She wrote a book with like Jewish goblins that run the bank. Like it's like suddenly you're like really concerned about like I actually, this is true, I looked it up. You know what the JK stands for in her name?
I
Jew
don't want to guess. Okay, that's what I was worried. Right, that was her name when she was in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Jew Killer Rowling.
So fuck J.K. Rowling. I'm sick of it. Look, I never loved the books to begin with, which helps. But like, I go downtown Chicago. There's this fucking cursed child J.K. Rowling thing right across from my office. It's like, get that shit the fuck away from me. Like, this person is bad. I don't put her shit everywhere.
It is unfortunate how, like, I don't know. I've got into this discussion and debate so many times about like authors and the art they create, and like, I think the Harry Potter stuff is good stuff. I think it's like well-made YA fiction. It's good world building. I don't know. I'm sure there are better fantasy books out there. I'm sure there are better things, but I do think like it's quite undeniable. It's what it is on its. Maybe this is just because Kara, my partner, is like a huge fan, and also and she struggles to reconcile this. Obviously, because she's deeply progressive, more so than I am probably, and that like JK's as a person is just a huge POS, and it's a little when I think about like movies or I think about video games or I think about other pieces of media, even music that gets made by somebody that I think is a piece of shit, I'm pretty able. I usually find it kind of easy to divorce the art from the artist because there's so many other people that work on those shows. If you cancel Kevin Spacey from House of Cards, there's still a bunch of other actors on House of Cards. I mean, I never saw House of Cards, so maybe it's all shit. I don't know, but I just mean there's hundreds and hundreds of people working on each episode.
Well, Kevin, if you remove one figure from a House of Cards, you know what happens to it? I
assume it
collapses.
It collapses. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, man.
Bring Spacey back. Bring Spacey back.
You spend a few minutes shitting on J.K. Rowling, but you do want Kevin Spacey back.
People and not others. And if they're male, it's a lot easier for me to forgive them, isn't it?
Yeah, bring back House of Cards with the title "This Show's So Gay."
That's good. This government's so gay. Frank under my wood, more like. He's fucking sucking me off under the table.
Under the table.
I guess actually Kevin Spacey did come out as gay to defend himself against the pedophilia. That was his
running interference, against the pedophilia. It was like,
I fuck kids, but actually I have another darker secret.
I fuck kids, not girls though.
Yeah.
Not little girls though. Okay.
It's a lot of pedophiles in the world, a lot more than we thought, I think. It's really scary.
It does seem like it's weird that the crazy conspiracy theorists were right about that one.
Yeah, that one was
right. Like, bang on the
not
money.
All of it, but the broad strokes were correct.
Not the specific details, but they're not that far off from the core problem.
And Kevin, what do you make of? I took a photo when Kim and I were in, I believe, New Hampshire, of someone who had a sticker on her car window that just said, I shoot pedophiles, and it was like an execution style stick figure, someone shooting a pedophile in the head.
It wasn't like a photography thing.
Now this has become really common, like merch that people will look. I'm certainly not pro pedophile, despite Kevin's assertions.
Assertions.
You often say that I connect in the Twilight books with children. You said that I imprinted on children, but I think not.
You said you imprinted on your
No,
friend's
I don't
child,
think
actually.
I said it. I think I yes-anded your bit. But I'm pretty sure that I don't know what the. There's so much to. I'm so freaked out by the fucking world, but I'm just like, look,
you're not doing great.
What is with the wearing your clothes or driving around on a truck with the word pedophile on the fucking bumper? It's deeply fucked up.
The first stand-up joke I ever wrote that I never performed was about how insane I think bumper stickers are.
Yeah.
Because I do
just
think
in general. That's what you're mad about, putting anything on your car.
Yeah. No, but
My child is an honor student and I shoot pedophiles.
I do think people put their most deeply held, inciting, angry beliefs proudest on their fucking car, which is crazy because it's the thing you're driving when you're the most irritable and other people around you are the most irritable.
Other people are angry. It is a little bit of a middle finger a lot of the time. Hey, person behind me. If you can read this,
coexist.
You. Yeah, that's the most aggressive one. Yeah, how dare you suggest that we live in harmony?
But I do think that like there's some guys who drive around like the St. James area. There's this guy who drives around with this big truck and he's got fucking skull decals across the whole thing and they're all giving the middle finger and it just like
Calvin
it's like
pissing.
Yeah, it is like what are you can't be this fucking apathetic and angry. That can't be your base state all the time. I mean, maybe it should be. Maybe that person is the only logical person in this world, but yeah.
Yeah. I think truck nuts are good. I think that one's fine. Oh my god. Kevin, just rewind the YouTube video. Timestamp this moment. You're gonna want to see this. We got a live loogie on Kevin's shirt.
What the fuck?
You just had speaking of poltergeist, some ectoplasm just emerged from deep within. Kevin landed right on his clothes.
I'm gonna go clean myself up. I need a minute.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna fill some time.
Oh my god.
Kevin's filthy. He's sticky. That's really gross.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, I just feel there's like a protest too much, but there's also a like you don't have to say certain things. Like if you are against pedophilia or murder or like armed robbery or whatever it is, I kind of feel like it goes without saying. You don't need to advertise it on your car that you're against those things. It's kind of just like needlessly inflammatory, and it's like upsetting. It like reminds people of these horrible things when you're just driving around. Like, why? Kevin, what happened? What was that just now?
So I haven't gotten to this part of the trip yet, but I got a little sick at the last leg of the journey, and I'm at like the very tail end of having a surprisingly long cough, and cold, and
surprisingly long COVID.
Yeah, and and so that was.
Yeah.
Well, it was phlegm. It was disgusting, and it came from within, sort of unannounced, unprovoked.
It sure did.
And that was J.K. Rowling putting a fucking Expelliarmus curse on my lungs.
That was your Patronus, I think.
My Patronus is a little fucking.
Yeah.
Harry gets a big
sucking
like
a Dementor sucking the phlegm out of your lungs or whatever.
Honestly, that sounds sick as fuck. That sounds so good.
That would be really refreshing. That should be like a sort of I don't know, a Benadryl commercial or whatever like it. Flonase.
Buckley is the name of the Dementor.
Yeah. Buckley.
Yeah.
Her views are terrible, but it works. Kevin, is there anything else you wanted to say about the trip before we move into a segment?
I think if you have a chance to visit a city like York, you should. It's a beautiful place, and I think it's probably a little underrated outside of me dragging all the Harry Potter stores. I think like if you, I mean, I don't drink. I haven't drank for about 2+ years, but I and I think I used to associate English culture with like always being like half cut at the pub. And I have to say, like, there is a lot of that. Obviously, if that's what you're looking for, you'll find it there in all those countries that I went to. But I think what was beautiful about York, firstly, I missed my family a lot more than I expected to miss my family. I'm not the most like family-oriented person in my like day-to-day life. I'm close enough with my brothers, but and like I see my mom when I can, but I don't unlike Thomas, who is deeply dedicated to the connections of his family, unlike Kara, who loves her family and can't get enough of seeing them on a regular basis. I'm often like out in the world doing other things. So it was nice to feel like a connection to my extended family out there that I didn't feel before. So that's beautiful. But York's a lovely city. You should check it out. Hamburg, Germany is crazy. I went down the Reeperbahn, which is like their most it's like known as like the strip of vices or something like that. It's like they sell sex there. You can buy a gun. You can place a bet. You can go to a sex club. You can see a live music performance, all within one.
Wait, you're telling me I can fuck, shoot, and gamble in that order?
In that order, and only that order. They actually do make sure you can't shoot unless you've busted.
Speaking of that, this new AI actor, a virgin, I've heard, Tilly Norwood.
What?
A lot of the promo for her and articles have been written that she is a virgin, which is apparently something we're supposed to want out of our actors.
There's a few problems I have with that.
Can an AI be a virgin? No.
Yeah.
Some would argue even the concept for humans is completely made up.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Certainly an AI having had an experience or not does not make sense. Anyway, sorry, it's just another thing to be upset about that I randomly thought.
I really wish our society would stop using the term AI. Because I think I know this is like kind
what
of
maybe... What would you call it? Let's rename it.
I do think they actually need like more accurate names. Like ChatGPT is a large language model, and I think if you call it a large language model, AI is sexy. It's like sleek. It's like it could be anything, right? Like it's
like procedurally literally generated actor.
And it implies intelligence. It implies a sense of like intelligence is the problem I have with this, is that it is not actually intelligent. I would say that is it's not an accurate phrase to describe these things. It's just a machine doing a bunch of stuff.
I've heard numerous stories of people using AI as though it is an objective arbiter in discussions. So like someone
like you and I will have a disagreement, and then we'll take it to ChatGPT.
The most disturbing is like I think this is on Twitter, but like a couple where one of them is like reading like text to voice AI's response to an argument to like prove his partner wrong in front of their kids, and like listen to this. And obviously AI or ChatGPT is sorry, I almost had my
you
own
almost ectoplasmed yourself.
But I kept it inside. But it's like, this is an objective witness. I can win an argument, even though the Chat GPT is designed to be really validating. So whatever you think, it's just going to like back you up. But I know that I heard a story of a business owner in Chicago using Chat GPT to like respond to a wage dispute as like, I've consulted ChatGPT as an objective, like, and it's like, it's not like the truth. It doesn't contain anything special in terms of like wisdom. It's just like amalgamating a bunch of different things.
It's just fucking Google, right? Like it's
fancy Google with some like grammar skills.
Weird thing the other day where I was asking it for some calculation, like I asked Siri on my phone, like what is how many ounces are in a pound or whatever, right? Like trying to do like a thing, and then it was like, well, it was a more complicated question than that, because it was able to answer that pretty quickly, but it was like how many onions are roughly in a pound of onions. And or maybe it's Brussels sprouts, and it said I can look that up. I can search online for you, or you can use ChatGPT to figure that out. And I don't like that. Like, firstly, I clicked the use online. I clicked like the search the web one. It just pulls it up in Google, which then Google's Gemini AI just answers underneath that. So it's inescapable at this point. It's like you can use this brand of AI or this brand of AI to answer your question. And like, I am sort of looking for a generalized answer. That is about the level to which I'm like mostly comfortable with something. It's just efficiently Googling for me. That is like, and I don't think I need a separate app for it. I think Google does that, and that's great, and it's fine, and it should just stay there. I think the idea that like, that it would be able to like argue, to just look up the truth. You have to find it out for yourself. Like you can't just like be provided with the.
There should be
I feel so old. I feel so fucking old when I think about like AI.
You look horrible. You look ravaged by time.
But no, like, isn't this feels like this must be what my parents thought about the internet. This must be what their parents thought about television. This must be what their parents thought about the radio.
No, I think it is. I mean, obviously everyone thinks this, but it actually feels different because, okay, it's like bad. Maybe it's a process of deregulation and stuff, but it's like, at least with an article, there's a source, there's a person. You can like punish that person if they lie. Right. They could lose their job. With AI, it doesn't have a source. It's like there's no consequences if it gives you false information. It just says it never cites where it got it from. It like just sort of is like, this is just information, pure information. Like, but from what?
Like when parents were mad about kids spending too much time on the computer, they weren't worried about their kids like they weren't worried about the things they should be worried about their kids having like unfettered internet access. They were just worried about like how it was affecting their attention spans. And when it was a TV issue, it was kind of similar things, but they're not as concerned about the content and the programming and the medium. It's more like the personal like relationship that we have to these things, which is something worth being critical of. Mm-hmm. But whoever was like, we shouldn't have the internet was probably right? Like they were like, this is bad. We don't need this.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's like
exclusively because they would have seen this episode of this show.
Yeah, exactly.
And been like, we shouldn't have done this.
We should never have been able to release this. There is an AI tool that you can upload a book to, and it will generate a podcast with AI voices discussing the book and kind of summarizing it, but in the style of a podcast. It's surprisingly like, I've heard, sophisticated, or at least it sounds like real people talking in a weird way. Like they'll even have like filler words like, oh yeah, that's a good point, and stuff like that. It's really unsettling, but I do think to fill the 2 weeks that we missed, we should generate somehow, if we could upload our transcripts and try to create an AI version of our show.
By saying that, do you mean listeners. Like our versions of Harry Potter that are sort of subvert? Oh, sorry, you said transcripts, and I thought you meant
our scripts about the trans community. Which I have written several screenplays about. You have a lot. I know it's not my experience, but I feel I have a lot to say about it, and I could finally
kind of an Eddie Redmayne of yourself.
Yeah.
The Danish Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a
Amber
break.
Was cool. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Caitlin. We're the co-hosts of a little podcast called Gimme That D.
Did that get your attention?
It's a Disney Channel original movie breakdown podcast.
We are breaking down all of your favorite childhood movies that aired on the Disney Channel from 96 to 06, the golden age of cinema.
Duh. We are two F-list comedians with a lot of A-list comedian friends, and together we break down and celebrate these absolutely batshit crazy films.
So we're talking aloof parents,
inexplicable plots,
bold cuts responsible for sexual awakenings the world over.
And we ask the hard-hitting journalistic questions like, what the fuck is this?
And could we have maybe taken a second pass at that script?
But we love them.
Oh, God, yes.
So listen to us wherever you get your podcasts.
To stay in the know of what movie we're covering each week and who our guest is, follow us on Instagram at GMTDpod.
Yeah, but for real, do it.
I have one gripe I need to talk about before we go into the real show.
Okay.
I know we've been chattering a lot. I need to shit on a hotel. I need to shit.
I have to pee right now. So you have to shit, I have to pee.
You can't. You have to pee? You knew.
I'll
you've done the
hold
show
it.
over 100. Okay.
I'm going to hold it. Look, I had iced coffee.
Maldron Hotel, Newlands Cross.
Yeah.
Dublin, Ireland. Decent hotel, right? I check in.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It seems nice. Clean the room turnover, not that great, but it's okay. They're just trying their best. Yeah. There was a little bit of like mold in the shower curtain. I wasn't that enthused about that when I first checked in. My drain in the sink or in the bathtub, which is like the shower, was like gummed up with like grass. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but we told them about it. They snaked it out the next day. It was fine. Not a lot of selection in the vending machine, but that's not their fault. I mean, it is their fault, but whatever. Who cares? Kara and I stayed there for about a week, 6 nights, I think, 5 or 6 nights, and we went for breakfast in the hotel one day, which was 17 euros, which is quite a bit of money per person. Right?
Yeah,
I'm talking like $25. We each have breakfast once in the hotel. And when checking out, the other thing is about being in Dublin, Ireland, I don't know how the fuck I did this, but I booked it on the same fucking weekend as the Pittsburgh Steelers played the Minnesota Vikings in Dublin. So there was a shitload of Americans in in Dublin and in the vicinity, and we were constantly being mistaken for Americans.
Just like Lizzo's squad alone must have been.
You think Lizzo was there?
Well, Minnesota Viking. Doesn't she have that line?
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't realize how familiar you were with
got a
Lizzo's
DNA
discography.
test.
Right. Turns out she's 100%. A waiver of the terrible towel, actually. But anyhow, checking out, it's chaos. It's madness. The game is on Sunday. We're checking out on a Sunday. And we're checking out at checkout time. We're checking out. We're getting ready to go to the airport to fly to to London, our next destination. And the girls at the front desk, they're doing their best, but it's a little chaotic. And she comes up and she says, "Hey, there's an extra charge on here." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, for the breakfast, for sure." Kara's like, "Do you guys take cash?" Because Kara's been trying to pay for things on the trip. I've got a credit card. She doesn't. She's got cash. I've been having to pay for everything because nowhere takes fucking cash.
You forbid her from getting a credit card, if I remember correctly.
That's correct. Yeah, she's sort of, I think, yay for me and not for thee, as it is. I'm sort of
kitten cash when she needs it.
Yeah, I peel a sawbuck off my wad every now and then for her. But,
that's why they call you Rod Peeler.
He's back. But I give Kara. Now I'm like, I give Kara her money. No. Kara gives this lady cash. She gives us anyway. She takes out 68 euros and gives us back 32. And I'm like, what? Sorry, how much was that? And she says, oh. And then there's like some confusion. She goes to pick it up. Something. I'm like, this is an expensive ass breakfast. I should have eaten more. They tell me, oh, it's for the breakfast, and then there's an undercharge here. And I'm like, an undercharge? Like, yeah, you didn't pay for the whole hotel when you booked it. And I'm like, okay. And I booked through Expedia. So I leave. I take it on the chin because it's chaos, and we leave. But I'm corresponding with Expedia because I'm like, hey, these people like said that I paid for the hotel in full. I would like to know where this extra like $50-$60 has just decided to come from. Back and forth with Expedia, live chat, AI agent eventually gives me a real person. God. Finally, the real person then eventually is like, oh, let me look into this for you. I'll email you with updates. I got to contact the hotel. Sounds good. They're contacting the hotel. Hotel just fucking lies to them. They're like, they got breakfast twice. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
The fuck?
They're like, that's. And so I'm like explaining to the agent that didn't happen. Ask them to prove that I got breakfast twice. I got breakfast once. They're charging me twice for this. They're just lying. And when I was checking out, that's not what they said. They said there was an undercharge. So which is true? They just lied. They lie to the hotel. They lie to Expedia. Expedia's like, sorry, man, you got breakfast twice. Breakfast is an extra charge if you get it. Like, there's 4 breakfasts here. No, there isn't. I only got breakfast. So I leave. I do the thing. I never do this because I know I hate reviews. I leave a 1-star review on the hotel and I explain the situation in full. I'm like, I got breakfast one time. The response just auto generated. Breakfast is extra when you stay at our hotel. Sorry you didn't know that.
Cool.
Fuck! I hate these people so much. Fuck Maldron Hotel. Fuck Maldron Newlands Cross. Fuck that hotel chain up the ass. Whatever the anti of a sponsorship is, it's a sponsor shit is what it is. If you drive by a Maldron Hotel, take a shit in their lobby and don't flush. Go to the bathroom, take a huge shit in their lobby and don't flush, and say, this is from Kevin Rambaran from Oops All Fucking Segments, and tell them that.
His fucking name.
Say my name. I want my corners.
Mm-hmm.
Of shit splatter in their stalls.
Stanfield now.
Yeah. Fuck with me. Anyway.
That sounds super shitty, and it also just again speaks to like how there is no human available at any level to help you.
They just were like, we're going to take this money from you.
Even responding, they were going to rob you, and then a robot is going to tell you, and then a robot's going to tell you that you ate breakfast. Like, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's not
this
okay.
is the world that we live in.
And there's no recourse. You can't get your money back. It's just
there's nothing
their
I
word
can do.
against yours.
This morning, months or weeks later, this morning I got another email from the hotel being like, sorry, you can't eat breakfast here and not pay. You'll have to take it up with Expedia. I already tried. Yeah. I already tried to take it up with Expedia. I tried to take it up with you. I want to call the hotel and just be like, where's the human being I have to talk to?
Yeah.
You can have my money. I just want you to acknowledge that this is bullshit. That's all I want. I don't even fucking want the 34 euro.
Yeah.
I just want you to fucking be like, yeah, we lied. That's what I want, because I ate breakfast there once and it wasn't very good, so I didn't go back. Right? Like,
how do you feel about a full English, Kevy? I feel like that's a real nice breakfast plate.
It is, although I don't see the hype. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Irish breakfast. I don't see the hype behind the blood sausage, the oats and the black pudding. I don't care that much for that.
I don't love the black pudding. I like the beans. I like the little fried tomato. Guy. I like the little hash brown triangle.
Yeah, the hash brown triangle is nice. I do think that like there are better versions of hash browns than those, though.
Yes.
Like the cubed roasted potatoes style hash browns are the way to go.
I don't know. I like the flavor. The flavor mix is good. I like the little rasher of bacon and then the egg and the beans. You get like sweet and salty and like you can kind of mix and match.
I don't like
the
beans.
toast in
like
the beans.
Okay,
fair enough.
No, I'm not on that. And I don't think I do like a full English, clearly, because I don't even really like the tomato thing very much. Like, I'm not.
You ever get mushrooms on there? That's a pretty nice little touch.
I'm not a big mushroom guy. I mean, I'll eat them as an ingredient in something. It's weird. Out of all the meals of the day, breakfast feels like the one I'm the most like childlike about. Like, I want my flavors to be like basic and separated.
Yeah. You brought 2 boxes of Fruit Loops across the border to have a taste of home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I needed that toucan in me. You know how some people say they got that dog in them? I got that toucan in me.
That's your Uncle Sam. I guess let's not get to a segment. I'm just going to tell more things that have happened to me now.
Yeah, what's going on with you? Because I've been spouting.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that I don't know that there's a huge story from, but we did. Summit Club Soda went to Montreal for an improv fest, which was fun. I've been there when I was younger, but not for a long time. Kim had never been there. Sort of my mom's favorite city.
Did you find everybody was hot? I found that was the case in Montreal. I was stunned by how beautiful everyone was. It was
fucking irritating how sexy everybody was. It was driving us crazy. We also stayed in a pretty cool neighborhood in the Plateau, so there were a lot of young people out at bars on the weekend and like.
And they were all fucking hot, right? Yeah, it's
insane.
Weird.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they were all smoking and stuff, and somehow that doesn't affect their appearance. It makes them hotter in a way.
Yeah.
So it was great. The food was really good. We had some nice what kind of chicken was it? I can't remember. I think Portuguese chicken was the place that we went to, and we had some good
weird.
Poutine. We had some. There's a lot of Portuguese chicken.
You could have given me like 100 guesses, and I wouldn't have said Portuguese.
Pretty sure, yeah, because they have the Portuguese egg tarts. They got these Portuguese chicken places. They got poutine everywhere. We had the smoked meat. Very good. Great food. The Improv Fest went well. One notable moment was I won't name the person, but a guy was talking to us at the after party. And speaking to Kim, and he talked to her for a while. Then she introduced me as her fiance, and then when he talked to her with a different group of people, he said, "This is Kim. She'll talk to you for 20 minutes and then tell you she has a fiance," which felt like a very, very cool way to be. A nice attitude there. Kim had her suspicions about French Canada, I would say, from right after when we arrived, because one of the servers gave her sass at a restaurant. And I think in general, there's a little bit of a not Anglophobia, but like some slight get the hell out of here with your English bullshit.
They're a bit sick of tourists. Yeah.
Which is fair. But I think Kim felt less welcomed there than in other Canadian cities. Although I thought overall it was a nice place to be.
I don't know if this is true, and it's hard for me to discern it, but like, do you think people can detect that Kim's an American quickly?
Yeah, I think probably just based on how
that
she
somehow
is
seemed like an insult. I mean, yes, but I mostly meant vocally. I mostly meant, do you think Kim has a distinctive Chicagoan accent?
Yeah, she is.
I can't
she does
tell.
have a strong Chicago accent for sure. I don't know that people pick up on it, but
yeah, because like I do think that like everywhere I went, even in Europe, it was like once they found out I was Canadian, they were so nice to me. But when they thought I was American, they were not. Like I do think it's a global thing. Like I think that everybody's afraid of Americans, doesn't like Americans.
Obviously, I get it based on our country, but it also is something that pisses me off because I'm like, so many Americans are nice and normal, and it sucks that like there is just this horrible reputation. Whatever, but I'm like, we're also just being like loathed globally for all of this fucked up shit that we hate, and it sucks.
It's the most victimization. It's the most you guys will feel what it's like to be racially profiled at any point ever as Americans. But no, I mean, but did Kim otherwise feel like her? I feel like Kim has put specific things in a box for Canada and Canadian cities and the Canadian experience. Do you feel like she was? Did she leave French Canada feeling more positive about it? Do you think then when she arrived, was she negative to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, I think what really impressed her was the price of rent and how nice of a city it was. Like, it was cheap, affordable, and had a lot of stuff in it, and that was exciting to her. Enough so that she was talking about taking French classes to create an option. Because I think when we think about moving, Winnipeg sometimes feels less like a city to her compared to Chicago, and Toronto feels very unaffordable. So Montreal being kind of a hybrid of like we could actually live there comfortably and it's sort of city-like was appealing, but it's French and that's a big barrier. So the other thing that's good. No, go ahead.
I had a meal that was the most expensive meal I think I'll ever have in my life.
Nice.
In Berlin. I went to a Michelin star
25 smackaroonies.
I don't know what the conversion rate is for a smackaroonie, but no, I mean so it was Kara, myself, Kara's parents, and Anita, Kara's friend that was hosting us, and
Kara's
we went out. We had a 7-course
trip.
They went to Frankfurt, Germany, and went through Berlin, and they met up with us in Berlin because we went to Berlin for one night to go to this restaurant. We met up with them in Berlin, went to the restaurant with them, and they came back to Hamburg with us for a little while, and they continued on through Germany.
Who paid for the dinner?
So Kara and her parents split it down the middle. So because we were partly taking care of Anita for hosting us, as a thank you. And so for 5 people, it was a 7-course dinner. 3 of us got 7 courses. 2 people opted out of the full 7 and went for the 5 courses. I got a non-alcoholic wine pairing or non-alcoholic pairing for each dish. Terry, Kara's father, got a wine pairing for each dish, and they also got a bottle of wine for the rest of them to split. And first off, the non-alcoholic wine pairing was awesome. As like a sober person, that's like an experience you don't get to have anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how does this like thing change with the meal? And it was fucking great. All the food was fantastic. There's a place called Cookies Cream in Berlin. If you are looking to spend an exorbitant amount of money, it's also a vegetarian Michelin star restaurant. They got their first Michelin star in 2018, and they've kept it ever since, every year. It was out of this world. The cost for all of that, plus a nice tip for an
per person
server.
Or total.
This is going to be total for the whole thing.
Can I guess?
I believe. Yeah.
How many people was it? 5?
5 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
With wine. So I'm probably going to overshoot
with like some wine.
Make it. Yeah, I might overshoot it. It'll make it less, but I'm going to base it on Alinea, which is our big Michelin star, like fancy, insane restaurant from Chicago. and guess that you spent. Well, also I don't know what currency we're thinking, but roughly,
I'm talking Canadian dollars.
Okay, I'm gonna say roughly $3,000.
You're not. You're a little high. You're a little high.
Yeah,
it was about $1,800.
Okay,
$1,900. Yeah, and which is a lot of money. You know, we're talking like $300-400 a person to $200 to $400 a person. But it was out of this world. It might have. There's a part of me that feels like I'm doing the calculus wrong, and that was only half the cost. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that it was that.
I mean, and I'd say that's a expensive but reasonable maybe for a place like that. And
we didn't do. They tried to upsell us on some really other things. Get this signature dish that we don't have on the standard menu. Get a beautiful dessert. They came to the table. They stamped the tablecloth at the end with their aperitif and dessert drink menu. We didn't get any of those. This was we were honestly stuffed and full, and it was already quite an experience.
I think that's the fear always with those places is it won't be filling because you're having like the weirdest bite of a meal you've ever had.
And it's like it's the food you make fun of, right? It looks like I'm gonna eat like one of the dishes was just one pepper made 3 different ways. It was just a pepper. They had like turned it into a sorbet on like a little hockey puck, and then there was like a little crispy disc, and then there was like a dollop of something on top, and it was all just the same pepper, but it tasted fucking incredible.
Can you? I always think because there's this place Alinea in Chicago. Like I'm pretty sure it's like $500 flat rate basically to eat there, and it's this insane same thing.
I'm pretty sure that's the place that like. They go really above and beyond with their hospitality as well, right?
Yeah. And it's like again, it's one experience.
The concierge behind you about what it is that you want. Yeah.
And you eat the famous like edible balloons as like part of the meal. And anyway, I've always thought like, is it worth it to just one day in my life like shell out for something like that? Because I love food and I love going out to eat, but it's pretty ridiculous. And I also love deals, so getting like a $5 hot dog sometimes feels really exciting to me because it's affordable, even though it's not as nice of a meal. But if you're really being honest, Kevin, because this is what I always think, like you have like I've invested in this, I want it to be good, and I believe that it was delicious. Was there one bite in the meal where you were like, this one feels a little showy and it didn't actually work for me? Was there like anything that you were like, this is kind of pretentious food and not something I actually want? Or was it all this is genuinely
I'm just going to look at the
delicious?
menu and try and remind myself of each of the 7 dishes. Because I would have said probably if that was part of the experience, it was probably at the very beginning. The first... I can't find the menu now. The menu's what the fuck? The menu, they had a website with the menu on it. Where's the fucking menu? I can't find it anymore. They must be changing their menu. But the first dish was like a weird cucumber thing, but even I would say halfway through the first dish, the first couple bites, because it was like a cucumber that they had like spaghettified essentially and then turned into like a spiral. So it was like this, it was like very flimsy looking on the plate.
Yeah.
And the first bite I had was just like I didn't like put all the things together. So it was mostly like a cucumber and it was a little underwhelming. And I was like, oh man, hopefully this isn't all like this. But beyond that, genuinely impressed. I was amazed at the depth of flavors I was able to pull out of what it was, and for the cost. I mean, I do think you and I are a little different when it comes to stuff like this and dining and preferences and what we might get out of it a little bit. I do think that splurging for an experience like that is it's something. Maybe it's just like the restaurant guy in me or something, but it is so unique. So like one thing that was crazy is like, firstly, it's like kind of got like speakeasy energy. You have to like go down like a creepy back alley and you don't know if you're in the right place, and then you find it.
That's fun.
But when you get in there, the Anita, the Kara's friend that we were with, she had just been wearing a new pair of shoes and they were kind of bothering her. So she was like grabbing at her heel a little bit. As she sat in her seat, seemingly out of nowhere, a plate appeared with just a heel bandage on it for her. No comment to her about like the level of attentiveness the servers are giving. Where those, oh, that girl needs this. Boom, 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 boom. Like that level of is just it's insane. And to have a experience that's that well curated.
Yeah.
And that food can do that. I think there's a universe where you come in and you're like, oh, this is stupid. I'm going to just like eat this food. And it doesn't have that type of like, you know, a great like fatty fucking poutine with cheese and gravy on potatoes is eating that feels nice and it feels good and it feels kind. But the satisfaction, it's a different kind of satisfaction. It's like watching fucking like an art house movie versus watching like something that's a little more like candy, you know. They both can be good, but they're just different, right?
I think about like, what is the distance between like going out for like a $60 steak and going out for like a hundreds of dollars super fancy meal? Like, I'm sure the expensive one is better, but how much better is it? Like, is there like a really high ceiling on food, or is it like kind of once you get like to the fancy-ish range, there's a lot of things that are very good that you can get for like a medium
I feel
premium
like so like if
like,
money wasn't an object, right?
Yeah.
Like if this was the type of meal I could have if this was the type of meal I could have every day, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would. For like this type of insanely well curated you know, patient where you can tell somebody has spent a lot of time putting it together. I think that would be so funny.
You invite someone over for a date and you have like a deconstructed cucumber or whatever. They're just like what the fuck? Like it's thoughtful and romantic, but it's also so kind of surreal to serve that to someone at home.
This is a deconstructed spaghetti bolognese with one noodle, a shaved piece of ham, and like fermented tomato.
I think I want to at some point in my life. I want to be pampered in that way. Like it's like I don't know. I spend that much money on a fucking flight. I might as well just like get a nice meal one time.
Yeah, and, I do think it's a worthwhile experience to have. I think honestly, genuinely, the people you have it with is actually kind of important. Because I think it can kind of what you'd hate is to spend that kind of money and it be with
people
somebody
find it gross. Yeah, like they don't like
or just they're not they're like almost like shitting on you for taking your time to enjoy the experience, because you have to be intentional about it, right? Like it's I do think that like equivocating it to like, yes, there are TV shows and movies you can ingest that are background material that are, or even just like that you can watch attentively, but they're kind of just fun, which is like what I would consider most meals. And maybe like the best kind of silly movie is like the expensive steak, right?
Yeah.
But then when you go for like something that's a little bit more like Tree of Life, or something that's like a little bit more like going to like trying to do something different with what you're used to. I think that's kind of what it is. It's not, you have to be also an audience member that's willing for that. Yeah.
You're like in the middle of the meal, they start serving you a dinosaur. You're like, that's kind of came out of nowhere, but I guess I'm curious. As a Tree of Life reference. This has been Oops All Segments. Look, we got to the bottom of a lot of stuff today, and ultimately, it doesn't matter if the world is fucked up, or if fake AI is ruining everything, or if we're being robbed and exploited and murdered. At the end of the day, it's all about getting really nice meals with your friends. Spending exorbitant amounts of money to eat cucumbers. So, which brings us back to This Store is Gay. Now, Is there, Kevin, is this going to come out before the Improv Festival? Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you want to see me do some crazy, I'm doing a shit ton of shows. So this is going to come out in the week of the Improv Festival. So this comes out on Monday. On Wednesday, I'm doing an improv show at the Winnipeg Improv Festival at 7 p.m. at the Gas Station Arts Center. On Thursday, I'm doing an improv show at the Winnipeg Improv Festival at the Gas Station Arts Center at 7 p.m. On Friday at 7 p.m., inside the Winnipeg Improv Festival, I'll be doing an improv show. That's the one I'm most excited about because we're doing Turned. Club Soda's doing like an improvised zombie apocalypse show, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then on Saturday, I think 7 p.m., I think at the Gas Station Arts Center. I'm pretty sure it's for the Winnipeg Improv Festival. I'll be doing an improv show. So check out the Gas Station Arts Center. You're going to see Ken Hall, previous guest of the show. He's coming in for the Winnipeg Improv Festival. So he's amazing, from the Umbrella Academy. Now he was in Twisted Metal Season 2. I'm pretty sure he gets thrown out a window by Anthony Mackie or something. I don't know. So you can check that out. We've got guests from Rapid Fire Theater. We've got some folks down from Seattle coming up to play with us from Unexpected Production. So there's lots of good shit happening. And you can check all those shows out when October 15th to the 17th, 18th. I don't know, whatever the fuck. But yeah, check us out.
Yeah. Sick. That's nasty.
What about you, T?
Just the usual. We got Secret Family Sketch on October 18th. Come check that out. We got some fucking trigger happy improv every Saturday at the Annoyance. Follow Kim's Instagram. She's doing great stuff. She got another popular
She's almost at 1 million,
Taylor Swift video.
Is she at 1 million yet?
Doing well. For that one, no. That last 40,000 is proving a tough,
the hard stretch,
tough hill. And then check out What We Do in the Basement, D&D podcast Kevin and I did together for a while.
It's true.
Latest episodes were great. I've been listening and enjoying it.
That's right. It's lots of fun. Some spicy shit be happening. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with probably a guest and actual segments. We won't just diatribe about the ales of the world and the rotting that I've been doing overseas. Stay safe. Stay smart. Stay horny.
Bye.